Okay, this is a follow-up with the Mercedes-Benz COMAND and the mObridge iPod integration system. We're going to show you how to use a very useful function called Autoselect here. So by default, the unit ships with Autoselect turned off, meaning it doesn't automatically expand the iPod menus, and I'll show you what I mean here by that. Again, we basically demonstrated it in the last video, but for example, let's choose artists. It's loading up the list of artists. And, let's say we want to open up 07. So again, we hold fast forward, or in this case, seek plus on the radio for more than 2 seconds, as if you're fast forwarding. And there we go, it's loaded up the tracks in 07. See only 3 tracks there. And to manually traverse back up in the folder structure, you find the back tag, denoted by the back arrows. And for that, again, we hold seek minus, or minus seek, I should say, which is equivalent of rewind in the CD changer controls. And there we go. We can see we're back in the artists. And you always know you're in a folder structure by the brackets. That indicates a folder that has content below it, or should have content below it. Sometimes in iPods, as you know, you can have empty playlists, so be sure not to get confused by that if you're in the playlist view. But again, as I mentioned, we're going to show you how to change this to auto-select the folder, so you don't actually have to hold the seek plus, and there are several different settings for that. So we go up to magazine, which is the top level, and in our utility function, disk 6, you can either go like this and scroll down, or just press 6. So scroll down in this menu aux audio menu, and you can see auto select is turned off. That's how we ship by default, because it's a little bit more straightforward to start out with it off and then turn it on than have to explain how to change the auto select setting off and describe how it's working. There are basically 3 settings for auto select. There's 1 second, 2 seconds, and 5 seconds. 1 second we don't recommend. It tends to be a little too fast when you're going through those folders. And then if you hit any other buttons on the head unit, you're basically doing a double input, and you can really confuse yourself as to where you're at, and so we don't recommend that. But we're going to go and change this to, first of all, cycle into 1 second, and it went back up to the top of the list, exit lock mode. And you can see it's on 1 second. And let's change it again to 2 seconds. Okay, that's the setting that I prefer and that we'd recommend. There is also a 5 second setting. Let's go change it to 5. Scroll down, verify it did it. Yep. And then we can cycle back to turning auto select off just by changing it again. Off. Back to the top of the list. 1 second. Hold it again. We're going to go back to 2 seconds so that I can do the demo in 2 second mode. Okay, good. So auto select is now turned on. This is a very useful feature with this radio, since you can only see 1 line at a time and you have to manually open folders. The radio, or actually our software, is actually going to do it for you by emulating a hold of the fast forward button. And the reason why we use fast forward and rewind is because this OK button doesn't actually send us a signal when we're on that folder level. So back to magazine. Let's go into artist because it's the best for demonstrating folder functionality. So here again we are in artists. Let's find somebody. Yeah, let's go to U2. And there you go. You can see after 2 seconds it auto selected the folder U2, and now you can go into U2 and play the tracks that are in there. Notice that tracks do not have the brackets, of course, because there's nothing below that. we're at the end of the list, we got to back up. Okay, just once more we'll demonstrate this. Let's demonstrate it with albums. 3. Loading up albums. It's going to Autoselect, there we go. And it's pulling up all the songs and songs about Jane. Tracks, I should say. Just real quickly, I'll show you another function here, is a mute function in command. It also, you can see it will sit there and basically also pauses, so it's flashing the time at which it was paused, and of course cuts the audio off. And so that's basically Autoselect function for iPod in Mercedes-Benz Command DVD, the typical full color screen head unit from 2003 and 4 on